check out all the episodes of The Table of Truth on our website, www.tableoftruth.com.
Yeah, ready. I'm gonna do it.
All right.
Welcome everybody to the Table of Truth. This is your man Cam. With me, as always, at full strength is.
Yo, what up? It's Duane. Back. I missed last week, but you guys held it down as usual.
Mm-hmm. Yo, what up, y'all? This is it. The last Knick fan alive. What it is. Got my hat on right now. Still support. Quiet though, but I'm still supporting, man. What up?
What up? This the other Cam, West Coast Cam. Voltron is finally together. You know what I'm saying? You know, so we ready to do it again. So welcome back, y'all.
Let our powers combine.
Seriously, I am Black Planet.
You can't have a black planet with all black guys. Like, doesn't make any sense. It's just like four hearts. Or it's like, what? How is this gonna work?
I think he was from Rwanda too, dude. From
He said Rwanda.
Wakanda?
Rwanda. He's from Wakanda too, man. He getting no love, B.
Yeah, I'm gonna segue real quick on a tangent. People was asking me back in the day if you had to pick one of those powers. I was like, give me the dude with the heart. He get all the women. I ain't trying to have the earth, the wind, the fire. Give me the dude with the heart. I can sweet talk any woman.
Wait. Who had Earth?
The black dude.
The black dude.
Black dude, right?
Oh yeah,
Who,
Earth.
Who had
Black
Earth?
dude had Earth.
Was it Mexican?
The dude
Wow,
from
Hart was
the Amazon.
Indian kid.
Amazon. He was from the Amazon.
I like Fire. I ain't gonna lie. Dude was from the Bronx, B. I like him, B. He's from the streets.
You think of Gargoyles?
Nah, the dude from the Fire was from the hood. Hood white dude.
The white dude had fire, and the girl had
fire.
wind.
Yeah. Captain Planet.
But anyway.
And you can't have fire to kill everybody.
Damn right. That's why I need that, yo. Fuck yeah.
That's horrible, yo.
Fuck that hard shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Hart. He was actually from Brazil. That's what it was.
Yeah, he was from Amazon. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. African dude had Earth. Oh snaps! That was LeVar Burton. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either. So you just said that.
The more you know. The more you know.
Have to.
Hey, once I found out Panthro was
Pops from Cosby. Yeah,
he was Pops from Cosby.
Yeah, man. That dude was hood.
What's it called? The new Voltron that's out right now. Hagar the Witch. That's Cree Summer.
I tried to watch that on Netflix. I can't do it, yo.
It's dope, man. I keep telling people, they're like, yo, it's kind of corny. I'm like, yo, Voltron itself is a corny ass cartoon. Watch the first. You gotta get past the first like 6 episodes, and then once you get that, the rest of it's dope.
I'm on number like 8, 9. I'm like, whew, about that stop button.
Nah, it's dope, man. It took a really like simple and not fleshed out concept and gave it some depth, because now we're at season 5 and like it's bananas right now.
All right, so then I'll continue watching it, because I finished watching Castlevania. That was pretty good, but they stopped on like season 1, so I don't know what's going on.
I tried to watch it. It didn't hold my interest.
Episode 4.
Yeah, it's only 4 episodes. I think it was only supposed to be 4, and then all of a sudden I think it did really good. So they're trying to do more. What's
I'm waiting for it.
Troll Hunters is really good for kids.
And on that note,
hey man, you gotta keep the youngins. You gotta keep that animation and all that stuff. Keep it young.
Dude, yeah, I think one of y'all told me that Macross was on there. I was like, yo, they got every episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Crazy.
Yeah. Netflix official with the anime. I can't front.
All right, let's segue. If you guys in the hip hop community heard recent news, one of the 90s hip hop legends from the Bad Boy era passed away. I want to say last night, Craig Mack. For those who are not familiar, Craig Mack, most famous song was Flavor in Your Ear, and the Flavor in Your Ear remix, which is a hot little remix.
Shit. Sorry, Stephen Hawkins just passed away, but continue.
Wow.
Really?
Damn.
Yeah, wow. I just got a little alert.
Wow.
Yep. Died in 76.
That's big.
Yo,
yeah. No,
it's smarter than like 3/4 of the earth.
Yeah. So I mean, this kind of fits in. But we want to talk about hip hop health and why it matters. Because in the last decade, even maybe the last 20 years, we had a lot of, from our era, I'm 38 years old, and we from a certain era our golden age of hip hop. A lot of our hip hop heroes are passing away. I mean, we had the likes of Prodigy, Phife, Big Pun, Pimp C, Jay Dilla, Combat Jack. They all passed away from some type of health deterioration or debilitating condition. Whether it range from lupus or a weak heart or just being out of shape and overweight. And we wanted to try to discuss things that could be preventative measures, and maybe throw out some ideas of what the hip hop community can do for those that may need health attention or health care, so
it's really tough because I feel like a lot of rappers sometimes do live their lyrics. So for the case of Pimp C, for example, he was in that culture of lean and doing certain things, and some rappers are just they do drugs, they abuse things, and I know they do that in their youth. I think it definitely is a lot of hip hop people, but I think as a community, as a Black community, we don't put our health first sometimes, and it reflects in us losing a lot of these people at early ages. At least that's what I think.
I mean, Craig Mack was what, 46?
Yeah, 46
he died at 46 of heart failure. But they had there's a news report of a study that linked with a barbershop to do treatment and screenings and all that stuff for Black males, because they know Black males go to the barbershop. They also don't go to the hospital, so they're like, yo, let's combine the two. And so this particular barbershop invited a study of doctors and all that stuff, and they came in. They gave screenings for diabetes, hypertension, took blood pressure, a bunch of other that stuff. And then if they had anything that needed to be checked, they would do regular visits at the barbershop. So they would set it up. So every X amount of time, the doctors would come back, and then they would help the community, whatever. And they're saying how, one, most Black men, or especially if they're over the age of 40, don't go to the doctor unless, they're basically a limb fell off or they get shot. And then two, they're yeah, but then he's like,
put some cocoa butter on it.
Pretty much. And then two, they're saying also because of that, they don't necessarily think of their health in that respect. Where they call that shit the silent killer and all that. And so that's why they were saying that the trial went really well, because one, it educated the guys that were in the barbershop. That was dope. And then two, it also helped them to look at their health in a little bit more of a positive light, as opposed to just being I can eat whatever I want, blah, blah, blah. And so it was the story was dope because it's something that I think it would be ill if they kept doing that within the barbershop around the United States, just because a lot of Black men don't necessarily think of their health until it's too late, until their 50s, 60s, triple, quadruple bypasses and foot falling off or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But that's what, especially for people the younger people, I think are starting to see it more, just because now we're seeing people that aren't that much older than us pass away. You got people at 37, 35 having heart attacks. That don't make no sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Go ahead.
Well, we do have some the Locks have their own juice store. They serve vegan juices, smoothies in the community, and they also got the slogan. The motto is "Love is love." If you don't save your soul, we can't be a better community altogether. So you have Angela E from the Breakfast Club. She has her own juice and life in her neighborhood. So there is in Brooklyn actually. So we do have some people out there who is conscious of health. So I just wanted to bring that up too. But you're absolutely right though. But there is some people out there who trying to change, people's lifestyles.
I wanted to take it a step back. Just talk about we all grew up in the hip hop culture, and some of us a little bit more active in it. And Cam, you can attest to this, being a DJ. I used to do the MC thing, and the life of a DJ or somebody that's on the road traveling, it does not. Well, in certain years, it didn't highlight the importance of health. When you wanted to go eat, it was always takeout. You would be up late. You weren't getting sleep. You weren't getting rest. You weren't getting your exercise. You know what I'm saying? You're drinking alcohol. You're drinking Red Bulls to stay up. So thinking back on it, you know, in that aspect, a lot of the hip hop community, it didn't open itself up to leading a better, healthier lifestyle until later. Until you see your Fife Dogs that's dying at 40, your Big Puns that's overweight, you know, people fed into his eating habits. You know, Combat Jack had something, the importance of checking up on your health. I mean, who knew? You know what I'm saying? Jay Dilla had lupus, so it was kind of like nothing could be done. Prodigy been living with his for years, you know what I'm saying? Sickle cell anemia. Craig Mack, no one knew he had like heart issues, or it just came out of nowhere. If he knew, we don't even know. You know, details haven't come out yet. I mean, but you also got people like Rick Ross was in the news he needs to cut that weight and he's trying, but he had a health scare. But you have people who are doing it to themselves. You got the Lil Waynes and the Lil Peeps of the world, and the Pimp C's who do drugs or put themselves in a state that put themselves at risk. And I'm imploring not only the hip hop community, but the people who are like the forefront of influencers to take notice and, man, take better care of yourself. But I wanted to segue because a few years back, the godfather of hip hop, Kool Herc, had a health scare, and it was crazy. They needed donations to help with his health bills. And I was just thinking recently with all these deaths, I was like, you know, hip hop is such a crazy commodity nowadays. People making money off of it. You would think hip hop would have like some type of structure in place for, like, if Kool Herc couldn't afford his bills, the hip hop structure could come in and say, we can take care of that. Or, you know how in the NFL, when you retire from the NFL, there's always like this fund to help its past players that played in the league for so many years and whatnot. Sort of like you got a retirement plan or an insurance plan outside of it. And it just had me thinking, I'm like, how come we don't have that? Could there be one put in place? You know, what's you guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, the only bad thing about that is what people don't realize is hip hop as a construct isn't a for-profit institution. So like, it's not even a non-profit institution. They have their own, like, you know, splinters and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, there's no retirement plan for a rapper. You're basically a freelancer or independent person. And so that's the part that someone was bringing the point of. They're like, yo, you know, Puffy or Dre should step in and save, you know, and pay Kool Herc's bills for everything he did for the culture, blah, blah, blah. That would be awesome and a nice, very nice gesture. But specifically like it is in Black culture, which hip hop, a lot of rap and Black culture mirrors each other, is the very every man for yourself type of situation. So it's kind of like, oh, I respect you for what you do, but your life choices have led you to where you're at, so I'm gonna leave you be. And so unless rap as a construct is an actual organization where, you know, they're signing artists and whatever, then that would make sense. But again, if Kool Herc, it was signed to a label or something like that, and his label was like, oh shit, let's take care of you and make sure you got health insurance, get your royalties in check, let's get your retirement, blah, blah, blah. But he's a solo independent person. So him getting, you know, having medical bills, whatever, was looked at more as an old dude that was part of something before, is now sick, as opposed to being like, oh man, one of our hip hop legends is, man, let's get a GoFundMe account together and help pay his bills, you know?
Yeah, it's just crazy. It's crazy. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say it's just crazy that a lot of these legends or influencers in hip hop are passing away young so early, but also at the same time, when like you have these debility, like to see Kool Herc asking for donations to help with his medical bills, it was kind of sad. And I'm just like, man, he's like an integral figure in hip hop, and I get it. As soon as you start saying you got to pay a fee to hip hop, that's when people get turned off. You know, to like say, hey, this is like a tax to say to help out the forefathers of hip hop or just the people who mean a lot to hip hop, just in case they come into some type of health scare. You know, it's kind of hard to say let's monetize and organize hip hop when hip hop was fundamentally the anti-organization and anti-establishment. You know, so
yeah. But it's funny. Before I touch on that, Cam, I want to go back to the health thing. I think it's kind of hard with health awareness only because this is all about money. And what's the number one thing that hip hop artists and clubs promote is liquor. And that alone will eliminate all your workouts and all that because we know how much liquor consumes as far as calories and weight. So when it comes to health awareness, it's gonna, unfortunately, the liquor part is tied into hip hop music, popping bottles, drinking in the clubs. You got to entertain. So I don't know how you balance that out because Ciroc is so huge and all these liquors and Hennessy, and this is what the urban hip hop community goes to, that ties into music is drinking. So I guess I'm asking y'all, how do you mix in the two? Because I honestly don't think for every juice bar, people's popping 40 Hennessy bottles a night.
Try 5,000.
Yeah, 5,000.
Oh,
It's tough because when it comes to music, it's like, I mean, you turn it off a song quick, fast, and somebody start talking about smoothies and kale salad. So they go talk about filet mignon and you know what I mean, and some Henny or whatever. But it's like, I don't know, because like if they're kind of living those lyrics, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure some of them are not. Some of them are taking care of themselves.
Yeah.
But
I mean, who would be the question of locks being street cats that know the game? They open a juice bar and they rap about that. I mean, like, their street cred is still legit to me, Yeah.
So Wu-Tang come out with a track talking about green smoothies.
32 powers of broccoli.
Yeah, get us some Killer Bee green smoothies.
I mean, let's just be real.
Put that in your car?
RZA's played some stuff about being healthy. And it wasn't on that tip of like extreme about talking smoothies, but he's been on that tip. I think he's a vegan or vegetarian. He be on that hype, man. I mean, we catch it. I'm a fan. So at the same time, he can still spit hard lyrics and slide something in there and some slick talk and be real healthy.
I never understand what RZA's talking about. So
yeah, but I'm saying if the Locks did it, the Locks have talked about their smoothie and being healthy
all the time.
So I mean, that's a prime example. We still listen to the Locks in that aspect. We don't take away from their street cred. And I'm not saying go out and start rapping about smoothies and stuff, but lead by example. I'm saying outside of the booth. You know what I'm saying? Like if Big Pun really took his health seriously, he could look like Papi Chulo from the block in his old age.
He said he lost 100 pounds. I'm trying to live, baby.
If that's the case, you're gonna have to chase somebody on a Diddy level who can sponsor a health drink and put it on TV, or Drake, somebody who's known to the kids, even fucking Migos, have them do a little snack bar, a little power bar, and it has to be on that level for the young generation, even for us to do that. Because
look at it. Diddy was running marathons. He put it in his rap. You know what I'm saying?
He was, but when you say Diddy, you say Ciroc. You're not saying the New York Marathon.
But when he was running the marathons, he didn't have that Ciroc deal.
Carrot juice.
Yeah.
Well, also too, the other thing, and people have to remember, and this is something that I talked before, but it's like, why is it on hit rappers to give the keys to people to go fucking be healthy, right? Like, I'm not like I'm still, now that I'm older, of course it's different, but again, we're sitting here looking at an entertainer to tell us to be healthier about our life choices, right?
So they're telling me drink honey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So this
word, drink my liquor.
Like a really good example is, or just example, like it's all about, like, again, it's dollars and cents, right? So again, rap isn't the NFL. Like, there's no National Rapper Association, NRA. I know this, but there's not like an NRA that says, okay, Locks, what you guys want to do? Oh, we want to open some juice bars. Cool. Here's a couple lawyers, here's some accountants, here's some classes so you can understand the basics of business. All right, go do something. Diddy, what you trying to do? I'm trying to buy the Carolina Panthers. Cool. Here's some investors. Here's this. There's no one organization that's advising rappers to go do XYZ. And so the difference is, the reason why a lot of the older guys aren't in the same position that the younger guys or next gen is, because back then they didn't look at rap as a viable, sustainable business. They looked at it as a flash in the pan, and then they started to make money. And then the smarter ones, adapted and tried to do that. But then the other ones, they're 55 years old, DJing / rapping, but might not have necessarily got their shit together to make a sustainable business. And now, here they are, 55, almost 60. And, they have a health scare, and they didn't really plan, they don't got a 401k for being a rapper, So it's like, And so now you have to figuring all that type of stuff. And so the other part of it is the rappers themselves again are in that same wave where it's like, yeah, like just like Cam said, like if you're a DJ, what are the reasons why I work out and eat a lot better? Because I don't want to be a fat DJ. All DJs in New York, like the ones that are popular, got big ass bellies, eat those late night freaking 4 a.m. Sandwiches and all that shit. Like that shit is not good for you. And plus, you're drinking mad alcohol and all that kind of stuff. I was like, yeah, I can't be like that.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that right now we don't have a structure in place. Now, MCs, they know the quote unquote game. And the game, whatever name may be, they're well versed on. But in the NFL, they have these things called the rookie symposiums, how to spend your money, what to watch out for. And I'm saying to myself, they could kind of have a similar thing in hip hop, whether it be health, advising your wealth, or how to start a business. Because we do have these type of things for other issues within hip hop. But right now, the main issue I'm concerned with is that a lot of my hip hop heroes are dying due to poor health. And
it's no structure for that. Like what? How?
No, there is not. And what I'm saying is we need to start thinking about that and maybe start putting things in place.
Yeah.
And I don't have a solution right now. And the whole purpose of this is just to have a discussion and maybe put it out there. And I think our influencers need to start talking about that as well.
Yeah, I mean, and also because we live in a
sales, or maybe like for every 10,000 records, 2%, not even 2%.
That's the record labels right there that you're talking about. They're not going to do that. Yeah, they're not taking a cut off their money for that.
Exactly. There's no like again, if I'm a record label and I sign Cam and he does all the things he needs to be doing, touring, blah blah blah, making records, awesome. Now he's not hot anymore. Cool. You are contractually obligated to do 3 albums. You did your 3 albums. I cut you from the label. I let you go do things. 10 years later, he's dying. And I'm like, oh damn, that sucks, man. So yeah. Well, good luck. Prayers up. And as a human being, I would help him. But as a label or something like that,
they don't care.
Yeah, there's no
return on investment anymore.
Exactly. It's just like an NFL team. And so the thing that we're talking about before, and this goes back to like the structure of rap and all that kind of stuff, is there's tons of nonprofits that work on the side of health and knowledge-based education, all that kind of stuff, that work with the kids and all that. Now there's little nonprofits or businesses that target established rappers or whatever. Like there's not a hip hop healthcare system. There's not or insurance plan. They don't have those type of situations. Now that could be something that could help because or there's no hip hop legal defense fund. Like Meek Mill is in jail for whatever the things he did, blah 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 blah. But there's not a hip hop defense fund that can go help him with his legal bills or whatever it is. So again, people don't look at hip hop or rap as a functioning system in terms of that. They look at it as most people don't even know hip hop is more than rap in the first place. So that's another thing. But that's another thing. But to keep on topic, like people look at rappers as you're an entertainer / that's your job. So you individually need to get your shit together. And if you don't get your shit together, well, that means you've made some poor decisions. Hopefully, prayers up. Hope you can let your shit. Hopefully, you'll survive your situation.
Yeah, basically, I'm coming to the conclusion that like you got people like Gucci Mane who went in jail fat, came out skinny.
Mm-hmm.
You at one point at one point you had a skinny Busta Rhymes, you had Dr. Dre get in shape, you had Timberland at one point get in shape. You had people that were trying to lead by example unconsciously. Nelly get in shape.
Had a lot of dudes in the gym back in the early 2000s.
Exactly. So that wasn't a symposium or saying, hey, like we're spitting, we're preaching. They were just leading by example because they wanted to be in shape. And I think as in hip hop influence, they need to expand on that because currently right now, a lot of young hip hop performers are just passing away too early for my taste. I'm like, I think some of this could be preventative. I don't know. Jay Dilla's situation was crazy. Combat Jack's situation was crazy. But like people like Big Pun, Pimp C, Craig Mack, if he was overweight, Prodigy did his thing. He changed his life around. He probably lived longer than he was supposed to.
Yeah, I think he had. I think his actually was a. It was.
Yeah, he was sick for a while.
Yeah, but his was like a freak accident combined with his sickness, so it was like a little different. But the
same with Ghostface, he had diabetes and shit, so he switched his diet up a little bit too.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the other thing too. People don't want to, like, say for instance, like my favorite comedian is Patrice O'Neal. He had diabetes, but he didn't switch up his lifestyle in terms of his eating habits and checking on his insulin. Like if you do that, you live an extra 20 years. But if you don't, you die in 5. So it's like
I see Chappelle smoke 20 packs of cigarettes. I wouldn't be surprised if he got throat cancer tomorrow.
Well, no problem. No. Stop.
God forbid, but it's just crazy.
Smoking weed and then start drinking more, and then now you go back to smoking cigarettes. And so, but yeah, so I mean, again, it goes back to one: do we look to our entertainers to lead us in terms of what health is?
See, the thing with us though, we're out.
We're okay.
No, I know we're okay. I'm just saying we're at the age where we're out of that. We still listen to hip hop. We're still in the know, but hip hop is a young man's game. And those young kids are not going to be talking about health. So the next generation, they're going to still be talking about 40s, blunts, and bitches.
Drinking lean, taking Xannies.
Because
so, like,
you know
the
what's funny?
older
Like,
generation are the ones in trouble, and it's because of what they've done in their youth. So when they get older, now, unfortunately, you're paying for it. The mistakes you made, just like you brought up earlier with being on the road, drinking alcohol, not getting enough sleep, like that takes a toll on you. But when you're young, it's easier to do those things. So
yeah,
I mean, it's tough, man.
Nah, because you got a good point, D. Because we've been working out since we were 20, and we would go heavy drinking, heavy partying.
Hell yeah!
But we'll be going to the gym Saturday morning after we went to the 20 bars on Friday night. So it's pretty much it has to be a lifestyle. If it's your lifestyle, it's working out is nothing to you. It's not a job, you know.
Yeah,
certain people are not educated to work out. Some people just don't have friends that work out together. Like we used to work out in groups for years, like a 10-year run. We was going all together to the gym and going to the clubs and drinking and burn all that the next day and keep our health intact, you know, for the most part.
I think hip hop needs to talk to itself. Because I mean, we're on the outside looking in, and a lot of the hip hop influences within the hip hop community are kind of passing away too early in my eyes. And I think they need to have discussions within that themselves and their community, because I think we understand the importance of health and trying to live a good life. But a lot of people, like you look at Busta Rhymes, he gained a lot of weight. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy.
People at the club, all them roids.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta remember, like if people want to talk out too, like they're under record labels. A record label will be like, "Yo, man, I can't have you talking about kale on this." You know what I mean? Like,
no, not on the record. I'm just saying, like when Diddy was promoting, I'm out here running a marathon. You don't have to rap it.
I get you. I get it.
Start talking about that.
Well,
you have to be influential.
If you want to use the younger version, like say for instance, the cat Little Xan or whatever that's from Southern California, he's like young. He has a huge rap following, whatever. He's changing his name to Diego, quote unquote, because he stopped doing Xanax, and his name is from popping Xannies. So, and he had the whole thing where he was like, "Yo, I almost OD'd, blah 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 blah. I can't be doing that shit." Da, 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 da. And then you have a lot of kids that do lean, and now more of the younger rappers are like, "Yo, don't do that shit because that shit is will fuck you up." And they're starting to repeat that on their social medias to kind of encourage other people, like, "Yo, I almost dated. I was doing lean, fucked me up. I was in the hospital. I'm fucking 21. Should not have happened. Don't follow my example." So it's like shit like that starting to happen where I'm starting to see it, which I think is dope. But at the same time, it goes back to, like, I think as a community, we kind of need something else than entertainers or like, I'm surprised that more people don't look at athletes and the regimens they do and all the workout and the work ethics and the discipline and look at that as like an inspiration, as opposed to looking at fucking Little Pump or whatever, little ad, whatever, as your, oh man, I want to be like that. Let me go do a bunch of Xans and like lean on that shit.
Unfortunately, man, you could watch a commercial of just do it 1,000 times. You ain't getting up off that couch, man. Some people,
it's got to be in you. But I think that you do get influenced though. You might look at a video or maybe an actor working out and be like, all right, I gotta step my game up. Like I have this on tape, is when Idris Elba was trying to become a kickboxer. So
yeah,
I recorded them.
That shit was dope.
Yeah, it was dope because you see him struggling. Like he's like, yo, I can't drink anymore. I gotta like get my body in shape. I gotta do that, and it was dope because you were seeing the beginning product to the end, compared to seeing an athlete in tip top shape, thinking, yo, they're born like this. But in this day and age, like Cam is saying, you can see LeBron share his workout videos. You can see such and such like showing you like, yo, this is what I do. So it is a lot more accessible for them to have that knowledge to know like, yo, I could work out. I could get to this point. So I think real quick on athletes, I just want to touch on those athletes who came out and talked about suffering from depression.
Yep.
I think that makes them more human. So kids looking up to them could be like, yo, I go through these things too. So
every day.
Yeah. So I mean, you look at rappers, you just like, I don't got $1 million. I ain't driving a Bentley, but I could sure buy a bottle of Henny. So
I can also I can also go to the gym too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I think that like the people within hip hop that are influenced need to check themselves. Because I mean, we ain't dying like that. People, it's rare that your own friends die from some crazy stuff like that. But when you hear like a Craig Mack dying from heart failure, I believe it was only like 46. You know what I'm saying?
I think kid answer that maybe they can get in touch with organizations like Planet Fitness, something where it's affordable. Like I think that'd be perfect. Like Planet Fitness is what $10-$20, and we promoting them right now. Like maybe there has to be some type of business because there's no artist that's gonna put their name out there for free exposure and not get a check for it. It's all at the end of the day.
50 had vitamin water. I'm bringing up 50 again. He had vitamin water. So people drinking vitamin water.
It has to come down to business. At the end of the day, dollars make sense. So maybe they could come with a forefront where you get a free, you go to gym, you get 20% off of an album. Something where it entices the record labels and the gym industry as well. So maybe that's something that, I think that'd be a good idea, It has to be a package deal.
We need to start talking about it within the hip hop community and the health. And I think it kind of goes unsaid until it happens to your favorite MC. It's like crazy. And also on the second part, maybe we can start to, I don't know. I just felt like when you saw Kool Herc needing donations to help him with his hospital bills, it was kind of sad that this legendary figure in a culture that I truly, truly, truly love had no means to an end to pay for his medical bills. And eventually it got through. But I was just thinking maybe we should have something in place, or maybe we should start thinking and talking about it within the hip hop community and all the power influences. Maybe we should start thinking about putting structures in place to maybe have preventative measures so that won't happen again. I don't have the answers right now. I was just thinking loosely based on what the NFL does for their players, but it's just something that maybe ponder and chew on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think also the biggest thing now is like the younger kids that are coming up. They're they call a lot of it is emo rap or whatever, talking about the depression, and they all live in the suburbs and it's really hard life and all that good stuff. But the other thing that there has been a movement around a lot of rappers of doing yoga, checking their sobriety, just like giving up alcohol because I know it's like just not good for them. And like
Russell Simmons,
talking about that. Yeah, like Riz is on the tip of
I've
vegan.
Never been influenced by Russell Simmons in my life, but go ahead, Ken.
You said what?
No, I said I've never been influenced by him, but some people will be though.
Russell Simmons was my hero. He had Kamora Lee at one point. So
true. I take that back.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Macklemore had like sobriety issues. So did Mac Miller and then Gucci Mane too. He went, he changed his whole lifestyle, stopped drinking, ate way better, dropped mad weight as a whole regiment, like yoga and shit like that. So it's like it's out there. It just like slowly got to be a little bit more popularized. But again, that's an older generation of rappers. You're not seeing a bunch of these 18 to 21-year-old rappers talking about, yeah, man, your body is a temple. I just got back from yoga.
Your bounce back is like 3 hours, man.
And it's funny. They could go on Instagram and film for 10-second clip of them working out. With how many people would literally follow that if they say, "Yo,"
but a lot of them they work out. I remember they had a video of Meek Mill hitting a punching bag, it was comical. You know what I mean? Like we a lot of these kids don't work out, yo. You're young, your body bounces back. You go out drinking the night before and go to the gym like we used to do the next day. So there's not as much recovery. So I mean, it's a tough subject, and just like you saying, as long as we start the conversation, the only thing with me is it's hard to do something like the NFL. There's not one label. There's not just a Def Jam and everybody goes there. So you could be like, hey, we need to support our former like label mates. You have so many different companies that some record imprints aren't there anymore. So it's kind of tough. It's definitely a topic that could be built upon though.
Yeah. Definitely something to be talked about. Definitely.
And let's segue, sticking with the music.
Eat your greens, people. Eat your greens.
Yeah, join the gym or do something. Be active. Just be active. Yeah.
But sorry.
But sticking with the music industry, in recent news, our favorite R&B singer, Bruno Mars.
My favorite.
A lot of people like Bruno Mars. I mean, he cool. I have no beef with him. But he's been trending. Yeah, he's been trending lately. And to be fair, Cam, you know more about this subject than I do. You saw the Ninth Wonder tweets, right?
Yeah, it all stems from a video that went Black Twitter viral. So not real viral, but Black Twitter viral. And basically there was a roundtable of talking about it was started by SZA, actually, originally. I think she either did an offhanded comment or a rant, whatever. But they had a conversation about is Bruno Mars cultural appropriation, blah, blah, blah. So the video itself is retarded. But one of the reasons why I dropped it is quasi trolling, but also important because I think sometimes we forget that like there's a whole generation behind us that are so confident in their ignorance when they have literally the information at their fingertips. It kind of doesn't really matter. They just kind of have an opinion and they stick to it and they ride with it. Just as bad as like a Trump supporter or a Trumpito and all that kind of stuff. Like you could be on the left side or be a super liberal or whatever, or Black Power or whatever, but you could have a very laser tunnel vision focus of one opinion and be like so certain that it's right, but it's so ignorantly, profoundly wrong. But it doesn't matter because you say it with conviction. But anyways, basically they're saying, Bruno Mars' last album, was heavily influenced by R&B from the 90s. Is he, quote unquote, stealing Black people's music, blah, blah, blah. The funny part for Black Twitter was basically like, what? Bruno Mars ain't Black? Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so let me start off by saying this. I'm a fan of Bruno Mars because he is a throwback to a certain era that I am fond of.
I agree.
However, and I mentioned this earlier to some people in this chat, that Bruno Mars ain't doing nothing special. Because there's a point to me where he's just taking what's already been done and just bringing it back out, and we eat it up because we like the music he's putting out. New Jack Swing ain't nothing new. He did a kind of a throwback to In Living Color and all this stuff, and he's taken a lot of popular musical formats and genres and just rebranding it, and I have no problem with it because also he's a non-Black person of color. If that means anything to anybody, I don't really have a problem because I understand the history of back in the day. Black people would sing a song or create a song, but they wouldn't let them sing it, and they'd have white musicians sing the song. And so I get that part of it and why people could be upset. But at the same time, to me, he's a person of color. He doesn't have to be Black to take something that's already been because, like I said, I've been reading the Davey D stuff. And I glanced through Ninth Wonder. Cultural appropriation has started not with musicians, but like the people behind the machine.
And also, too, the thing that everyone forgets is like, and I was laughing because Ninth Wonder's rant was basically like, "Yo, know your history," which is one. Two, I was trying to explain to someone else. I was like, "Yo, like Bruno Mars is making music that you forgot about, quote unquote, is not hot anymore." And now I'm mad that, like, I have a personal beef about this all the time, where it's like Black people as a culture, unfortunately, we are literally the most trendiest of all the cultures. But no one calls us out on it because we create the trends. But when we make these trends, we leave them just as fast as we make them. So when someone else picks it up, appreciates it, runs with it, takes it to a whole nother level, then we're like, hey, wait, why are you guys taking our shit? As opposed to, you didn't care about that 5 seconds ago.
Yeah,
it was only until the Asian person picked it up and ran with it and made money that you actually paid attention. And so, unfortunately, to me, the younger people that are ranting about this, and honestly, to be fair, it's a lot smaller. Most people are coming to his defense, but the larger conversation comes back to is people like there's a lot of folks do not understand just the word cultural appropriation and in general, but then also they don't understand music from a business standpoint, from a history standpoint, and all that. So they're very surface level in a lot of their arguments, and so it's really annoying. That's where it comes back to the ignorance and it's profoundly confident ignorance part.
So let me get this straight: if Bruno Mars was dark skinned with a nappy-headed fro, we won't be having this discussion right now.
Nope. And most people don't believe that if he was black, that he would be at the same level of stardom.
Because to me, I'm the one that advocates about good music, and I'm tired of this. Like, there's no more R&B, there's no more feel good music. Like Kim said, I literally dance like I'm listening to a Bobby Brown song, like the old school '90s where it wasn't about sex, it was just good effing music, yo. Like, that's what I appreciate about him. He's bringing back what we all used to like, and that's education of music. So what is the problem with that? I don't want to. It sounds to me more of just hate.
Yeah, and also, I go back to, and Ninth One is touching this as well. It's like we were very spoiled in the era that we grew up in because the popular music was good music. If you want to put it this way, right? Rap on the same level, R&B on the same level. We're in an era now where if you want to quote unquote find good R&B music, it's out there, but you have to actually search for it now.
Yeah, and it's not mainstream anymore.
Exactly.
Like
exactly. So you're
blame the record labels for that. They the one who,
yes, and that's what
like Quincy Jones said. Quincy Jones said a lot in his interview about that same thing about musicianships, bands. Yep. All of that is pretty much gone.
Yo.
So what do you expect now? Everything is just quick, and this is what happens.
Dude, the Catch Me Outside white girl has a record deal, and it's coming out with the album in the summertime.
And she's going on tour.
Yep,
that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't take much. Not to cut you off, Ken. Don't take much to make it now. You don't got to put in that hard work no more. To me, I don't think.
Check this out. Nobody fucking batted an eye when Justin Timberlake was doing this shit. And I wasn't fooling with him because I was like, man, you ain't fooling me. I mean, I'm not a fan of him anyway.
Yeah.
I had no beef with him taking over R&B. Or what's the girl that died? Oh my God, she did drugs, but she sang like a black girl.
He never took R&B for me. He never took R&B.
Amy Winehouse?
But some people, Amy Winehouse, she sounded like a sister. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Caldwell. For years, we didn't know he was white. We thought he was black, and nobody had a problem with it. Now all of a sudden, you got Bruno out here, who's not black per se, but he's a person of color doing the damn thing, and people are upset because they think he's stealing music.
I don't get it because the music he's making, like when I first heard the album, I immediately tweeted, I'm like, yo, this is some 90s. I was telling all you guys, yo, this is some 90s throwback, like some Janet Jackson, Bobby Brown. Like, I'm like, yo, it's a short album. It's not like I'm listening to 20 tracks. I'm like, yo, it just flows well. They did a good job. And anytime you hear this guy talk, he's bigging up Teddy Riley. He's bigging up freaking Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Like
my only knock
golden age.
Yeah, my only knock on him is he's just a biter. I have no problem with him biting it. That's just a knock on his creativity.
You know what it is with him? I think he's one of those people where he's so creative, he doesn't know what lane to be in.
Well,
I think.
What do you mean by biting? What do you mean to say that?
He's saying this is not him.
I mean,
he could come out with another like doo-wop song tomorrow. Like he's.
But Michael Jackson took stuff from older artists and made it his own.
Michael's a biter. I mean, I'm not saying nobody's out without fault, but I'm just saying the greatness of him is that he's taking something that's already been done.
Oh, like the Diddy, but the remix.
Yeah, I mean,
but even then, like his first album, like that's the other part too. It's like people look at him like he just got hot, like now or some shit like that. Like black people just like for some reason people are like, oh, but yo, Bruno Mars is cool now. Like nigga, he's been killed since his first album. Like he writes, he plays the piano.
When he came out with Mark Ronson, And he was like, "Oh, what does this new sound?" I was like, "Yo, this sound like the Minneapolis funk."
Yeah, and he did that. And he
I was like, "What are you talking about?"
But his 2 albums before that were all pop. They went freaking platinum. Like, this is the other beef that I have is like, not beef, but it's just annoyance. It's like, in the Black community, if we don't think it's cool, we don't think it's been around. You know, like, if you're not hot right now, you're not doing anything. Where it's just like,
you're not on our radar.
Yeah, exactly. And now, to be fair, it usually happens more in New York and more Black Twitter. Like, there's a certain demographic, which is certain age group, college education, really plugged into social media. But like, I just laugh because like I watched this happen, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, wow, you guys really don't pay attention to anything outside your bubble. Like, Bruno Mars has been selling out arenas for years, and now, just right now, you guys are paying attention because, you know, whatever. So it was interesting to see this kind of like back and forth with people, and I was kind of like, you know, and the Justin Timberlake, that's a whole nother situation that we can have a longer conversation about. Like, I personally don't fucking give a care. I like Justin Timberlake. I like his music.
As a DJ, Cam, you gonna play Justin Timberlake, but as me as a casual fan of R&B, fuck that guy.
And I think, but the other thing about Justin Timberlake is he has been making good R&B music these last 10 years too. So that's a whole other situation. But
he was never over Usher at any time of his music career. Never.
That's a debate for another day.
Well, you don't have an album better than Confessions of Fire, so we could
amen. Yeah, we can end that right now.
But it's not even about that though. It also goes back to, it's not like
I mean, I get what Ant's saying, but in Timberlake's defense, he was in the conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, he's in the conversation. Like, definitely Usher for R&B is over him to me, but he's in the conversation.
Yeah, easily. Like I'm saying, like if you look at the last 10 years of R&B, like he's definitely in the conversation. That's what I'm saying.
He was never over R. Kelly or Usher. I'm saying that right now.
No, of course but that's another situation as well. And like,
bro, I thought you were gonna say Bobby Valentino. Y'all be like, I'm turning your mic off, yo.
No. I gotta bring the pipe out for that. Right. I give him that. Usher. Pause.
I look. I think it don't matter. It shouldn't be a color thing. I understand.
No, it's not a color thing. It's a music thing.
No, but I'm just saying, a lot of people out there do think it's a color thing because they think because he's not black, he can't do black people's music or black type music. And the problem I have with that, I think that shit is asinine. The fact is, if you can make good music, like John B made good music, bro. Like, he was that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So
hell yeah.
So when I look at people that are non-black, they also have to walk a fine line because people are sensitive and it shouldn't be that way. But basically, like Bruno Mars, he gave props to those who came before him and he recognized, and he wasn't disrespectful of that genre. Like, the thing about Timberlake is he dissed Prince. He kind of bowed down and they was going back and forth. Prince that's the dude you give credit to. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Like, you don't diss.
But at the same time, you can't, like, you can diss a legend if you disagree with them. And then now that's the other thing, people are going back and forth. Like, everyone was like, "Oh, I don't listen."
He was being disrespectful though.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, he
definitely was, because, and you know, Prince does this all the time. He's been doing that. He dissed freaking Timberland for whining about people jacking his beats. And I was laughing because Timberland said, he's like, "Yeah, I took that shit to heart, but it inspired me to make a different sound, which was dope." But going back again, like, it goes to that same level where it's like I'm still, as a quote unquote black culture, we always try to get lumped in together, but we clearly are not. But it's just more annoying when it's just kind of like we create so much shit that we let things go so fast, and then instead of just appreciating people that appreciate stuff that we like, we always have to compare. Yeah, it's on to the next, on to that. So like when people talk about top 5 or his best R&B app or whatever, or, you know, Justin Timberlake in the conversation with, you know, Usher or R. Kelly. Like, R. Kelly is a horrible human being, but he makes amazing music. And so like, in the black community still lets him ride to this day. Like, he's literally a horrible human being. But Ignition,
I don't follow R. Kelly anymore.
Man. Yeah, no, but I still play Ignition because that's one of my favorite remixes of all time.
I love R. Kelly music.
But I appreciate that but I also understand that he's a horrible human being. So it really just comes down to, again, like, there's no barometer or no like level of who's black enough or who gets invited to the cookout. That dumbass shit that you've always said.
But you know what's funny too, Cam, fellas. Like I think a lot of the art of music has been going because we grew up in the '80s. I played George Michael's, Phil Collins. It was never a black and white when I was a kid. It was just, yo, this sounds dope. My mother played it. I listened to what she played, and we all respect all genres of music. And I think some of these people today are stuck in just one lane and don't know how to open up and listen to all music. Well, therefore, you don't have to talk about shit like this because I appreciate music. Period.
Watching that video. Sorry, watching that video that Cam shared with us, it's like a lot of them was coming from, I don't like using this word, but from a hate point of view. One of the girls mentioned he could die tomorrow. I'll bake a cake. Like, yo, like really, like this is a music conversation. If you have if your feelings are that strong and emotional, maybe you shouldn't be talking about it.
Yeah,
because you're definitely going to be one-sided and biased.
Yep, exactly. And I think also too the bad part about that conversation was the lack of deeper understanding of music. And so like it's deep. That's what Ninth Wonder was touching on. He was like, it's so annoying to talk to people about music that have such a surface level understanding or appreciation about it. And one of the things that he's actually a professor, he taught classes and all that kind of stuff. And he even commented, he has his documentary, which is a really dope one, you should say, but not in the documentary, but on an interview. But he was saying he was teaching classes at major universities, and everybody was white. But every time he said, "Hey guys, you guys should go check out these 3 albums," the next week each person in the class would check out all 3 of those albums, listen to it, break it down, and then have intelligent things to talk about the next week. He's like, if I'm talking to some kids in the block or folks on Twitter, I'm like, "Yo, you guys check out da 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 da," and they're like, "Oh man, that's old. I don't need to listen to that." Blah 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 blah. Like the attitude is not there. And he was like, unfortunately, in our culture, for Black culture, sometimes there's a disconnect between the old and the new instead of an appreciation. Now to be fair, there are a lot of young kids that like if you show them something, they're like, "Oh shit, what's this?" And they listen to it. They, "Oh, this is dope." But the curiosity to go out and listen is not as prevalent as it used to be.
Think about it. The best rappers of this new generation are Kendrick, Drake. They're always talking about old school rappers, bigging them up. They listen. Yeah, they know their history, like you're saying. That some kid the other day was saying Tupac's boring. Like, granted, you're entitled to your opinion, but at the same time, like, come on, man. Like, do you really listen to him, or are you just saying that?
And that's what I was gonna say. Like, I would rather him be like, "Yo, Tupac is boring because his cadence is the same."
Exactly.
Does da 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 da. He only talks about these subjects. Yada. Like, he actually breaks it down. Then I'd be like, "Oh, all right. I might disagree with you, but at least you have somewhere you're coming from."
I was just at a club this Friday, fellas, and they put on Big. And granted, I'm in VA. They was literally like booing that shit, like, "Yo, cut this shit off."
You joking?
And put on Little Boosie, all this southern shit, literally. And this is his anniversary. They put it on, and people like, "Yo, what?" Like when I say, like you said, people are tone deaf to old school and culture. It's all about what's out today, all about the new, and some people don't give a damn about the history of music.
Yeah, pretty much. And honestly, should they? Like, I personally feel they should, but at the same time, that's because I'm a DJ. I was also a b-boy. I pay attention to rap music. I listen to so much R&B. So like when someone says, "Oh, R&B's been dead, it's all autotune," I'm like, no, it isn't. There's tons of stuff. I can name 5 artists now that are dope that you can go find out and listen to. But I think it's interesting in this generation where you have the most information that you can get by your fingertips, and you're the least informed because you just don't really put the time in to go do that. And I think that video was interesting because I was kind of like, I was surprised. I had to stop after that. The girl was ranting about he could die today, and I didn't care, but she was getting all passionate about her dumbness. But it was annoying. I still finished the video because it was kind of like people, because I've been in those conversations with people that are in their 20s and listening to them, and a lot of time I'm just laughing because I could school all of them and did all their points, but a lot of times I kind of just sit back and let them kind of get it off their chest, and then I might just come in and just drop in here, this. Say something here, say something here, say something here, and then let them on self-discovery and figure that out on their own. Because a lot of times, so like I said, people are so passionate in their dumbness that it doesn't really matter what you say; they're still going to believe they're, specifically think that they're right.
And we went wrong too when R&B motherfuckers started rapping. Chris Browns, and once that shit started happening, I said, "Oh, it's over R&B." Yeah, like stick to your lane, man. Stick to your lane. I don't know. I think certain music to a fault is some of the artists' fault too, man. everybody want to be a rapper, man. Like, yo, stick to your lane, auto tunes, and no more musicians. It just changed, man. The way of music now, quick money, quick buck, and we out of here, yo. So this is what happened.
I mean, but also, like I said, it's not the gatekeepers of music are scrambling to catch up to the technology. So like all these like littles and youngs or whatever, they build solid followings on YouTube and Twitch and freaking SoundCloud first. They're already selling shows out of 5,000, 10,000 people without a record label, just with their social media, their YouTube account, and their freaking SoundCloud. So now record labels are like, oh shit, let's hop on the wave and just gobble up all these little guys, give them a little bit of money, put them in stuff, and then ride their rave. That's basically what a lot of people are doing. Like Tekashi 6ix9ine is a good example, and like he's fucking horrible. But if you go on YouTube,
Link from Legend of Zelda.
Yo, he's horrible. But like you go on YouTube, he has like 7 videos and they're all 10 million plus, easy. And that's and not even that they're 10 million plus, but they got like 1 million within the 24 hours. Like it's not.
That's the record label seeing that and being like, "Yo, what?
Exactly.
Yo, so real quick, like the whole thing with this Bruno Mars thing. To get back to that, they bring up artists like SZA. Like her album, did it even pass 100K? Like you're gonna bring up artists that you're not supporting. Like, do you own her album? Do you like? I don't understand why people start talking about other people and you're not supporting those people. Now it's like, why didn't Childish Gambino win? Did you listen to his entire album?
Yeah.
The album's decent. Like it's not great. Like, come on, man. Don't just bring up somebody because they're black, yo.
Yeah.
But also bring up Daniel Caesar. Like, tell me Daniel Caesar album's better, and I'll be like, yo, you might got a point there. I rock with Daniel Caesar. He's an R&B artist. So come on. These people are not doing their research. They're not listening. They just want to have a quick battle about something stupid so they can get more viewership.
Now, to be fair for SZA, her album went platinum.
Oh, it did? Okay.
It charted. I think it charted at U.S. Billboard at position 42, number 1 in R&B. But top position on the main U.S. Billboard was 3. But you're right though. That's the other thing too. It's like
platinum, you know.
Yeah. But something like SZA should go platinum. Like it's a cool, solid album. She's had some good stuff on it, some great remixes. But and same thing with Childish Gambino. Like people didn't fuck with that dude until he won. Shit for Atlanta. Some people don't even know he had other albums before. They don't know any of that shit.
All my friends was like, "Why you listening to this corny dude?" And now they're like,
white boy rap.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, oh, okay. Now you rock with him.
So, now you rock with him.
Yeah, I mean, it mixes with the quote unquote woke crowd, as we like to call them. But it's just funny to see and be in those situations where I've heard more intelligent music conversations from a 23-year-old, half Puerto Rican, half white dude at work than I have in all of other being at BET, listening to what they listen to and how like, oh, you heard that Jay-Z and Beyonce going on tour? How much is the movement?
Yeah. Yo, Cam, my fault. Her album, I'm looking at pure sales.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She went platinum from streaming. Yo, I don't even know how that works.
Yeah, that's a whole. Alchemy right there.
Yo, that's crazy.
That's a whole new number.
Yeah, that's a whole new world right there. Yo, I'm looking at physical sales. She sold 90K.
Yeah.
Basically, if you're gonna hate on Bruno because of his skin color and he's doing popular music that was popularized by black people, then you a fool. You're a bigger fool than I suspected.
As Cam said last episode, you gotta be a smart hater.
You gotta be a well-informed hater.
Well-informed hater, yeah. You're gonna hate. Have your facts, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the main. I think one of the things that like I was in the conversation when I was at BET. We're talking about the BET Hip Hop Awards, and one of the kids, they're talking about top 5 as they always do, which is a horrible conversation. But he was 20. No, he was 20. And so he was like, yeah, my top 5 is Kanye, Lloyd Banks, Eminem. And like everyone in the room started groaning. But then I actually was like, yo, let him finish. He's 20 years old. He's been listening to rap since he was 12. That's only 8 years. So
I wouldn't have been mad at him because Lloyd Banks is tough. He can spit.
Yeah, Lloyd Banks can spit.
And so that's one thing I was like putting in context. Like we have to also me and Cam were talking about Prince before, and I was actually DJing at the time, and I was playing Prince, and this girl turned to me. She's like, "Hey, who sings this song?" I was like, "Prince." She's like, "What's it called?" I was like, "Wanna Be Your Lover," and I was like, But again,
come on.
she's in her mid-20s. And so I was like, I have to put it in context. That song is older, and you might not know if you didn't know.
But it's from a legend. You know what I mean? Like,
it's true, but
I get it.
Yeah, but again, context,
it's the same thing when you say people will forget about Michael Jordan. If they can forget who Jordan is, then
they're not because they're wearing their shoes.
Yeah, true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, but you're right.
He's still out. They'll never forget him.
Ain't no Prince hairspray out right now. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Prince hairspray? Yo. That would actually be really dope.
Wait. What would it be? Hey, Ant, what would it be called? Like, what would it look like?
It'll be purple. That's the name of it.
Yo, Prince don't be mad at me. Yo, that would change the game, and it'll make it relevant.
Will sell out all day. They had to just a symbol.
Also, to be fair, I Want to Be Your Lover, that came out in 1979.
Jeez.
Yeah. And I play that probably weekly. But that's part of the reason why I DJ, and the way I DJ is to play music that people don't listen to a lot.
Educate them too.
Should know, educate them. And so, that's like part of the reason why I do DJ and I like DJing, because I always want to make sure that people don't forget a lot of this amazing music that's out there. So like I'm lucky that I don't have to play in places that are top 40 and pop music. So then if I do play, it's a mix of everything else. I do it on purpose because like there's no way I'm playing trap for fucking 8 hours. It's not gonna happen. Like I can't do that.
After Unforgettable, you couldn't tell me one Nat King Cole song, Sammy Davis Jr. song. So I'm gonna sit here and agree with them. I don't know what the legends either. In every way. After that, like who?
And I only remember the Dave Chappelle version.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember the one he sung with his daughter, CGI.
Yeah, that's it. It's CG.
Well, he sang his Christmas songs that I can remember, yo. Deck the Hall and Oh Holy Night.
Yo,
I think there should be a like a so many years you could go back. No, brother. Like, damn, how far it's like, all right, cool. I ain't trying to listen to no Bing Crosby. I'm good.
Yeah, but I mean, but that's exact. But it's also the same thing. So that's one thing that I've actually been actively being better about it and not judging so much and more like actually the young kid at work. He's 22, 23. He didn't know who Prime was, and so I was like, "Yo, that Prime album's coming," because he's a quote unquote hip hop head, and so I was like, "Yo, the Prime album's coming out this week," and he was like, "Prime, what's that?" I was like. I was like, what? That stopped myself.
I mean, a lot of older heads don't know either.
No, I'm not gonna lie. You would have said Prime to a younger kid, they're gonna be like, "What are you talking about?"
No, you're right. And that's exactly why he was on Spotify, so he looked it up. And no, he actually Googled it first, and then he saw Primo and Royce, and he was like, "Oh shit, Royce is dope." And then he does know who DJ Premier is, thank God. And so, but then he sat and he listened to the Prime album, and then he also listened to Fonte, and he already had listened to Nipsey Hussle already, but like. Me and him and talking more music more often, and like I was exposing him to more stuff that he would not have listened to, because he'll listen to that Metro Boomin and freaking Big Sean collabo album, but he won't necessarily listen to, or he won't know about a Fonte album. So it's like those are the type of things where I'm like, yo, this is something I'm listening to. Yeah, exactly.
And let me know what you think.
Yeah,
yo, groups like Bad Boy, Motown, that's all you have to know. Like you got to know the pioneers of this shit, man. Like. Certain things you need to know.
I mean, not really, because
Stevie Wonder, you got to know who he is.
I mean, yeah, those are legends, man. If you call yourself, you like music. If you a music head, then you should know these bands. But if you in it for being pop culture, just riding the wave like the theme of this episode, then I understand if you don't know. Yeah. Well, I'm not singing Nat King Cole because I haven't said that dude's name in like 3 years. So
Stevie Wonder. If you say you know Stevie Wonder, that's crazy. Exactly, around Christmas, yo. Certain people you just gotta know, man. You just gotta know who they are.
You would hope, but also thing you have to remember as well is not everyone listens to music with the same level of passion. Like there's people that are super into Taylor Swift, but they only know Taylor Swift, and maybe like the people Kirshner, like the Katy Perry's, the Britney Spears.
Well, you're missing all the music then. If that's the case.
But this goes back to anybody. You can put it to sports. Just a quick segue. If a person say I'm just a fan of the Warriors or whatever team they like, and they don't really pay attention, you can't fault them for that. They just know what they know. So, and the same thing with music. I just listen to pop. If you just listen to pop, I'm gonna respect that. But when you start to step out of bounds, or you think you know about something other than what you say,
exactly.
Then that's when I'll step in.
You start talking about legends, or you start saying something's whack. I'm like, well, yeah. Well, you don't really listen to other things, so how can I listen to your opinion?
Exactly.
I would respect your opinion if you said what you know. If you said I only know pop music, I would respect that, and I wouldn't try to be a teacher in that moment. But if you said I don't like hip hop and then you have an opinion about Jay-Z, then we're gonna have a problem. You know?
And I think also too, I think that's the part that the younger kids kind of mess up on, like the Yachty's and Uzi Verts. Like it doesn't like I don't have a problem that you don't listen to the older people. Then fine, it's completely fine. That's your era, whatever. But then again, just don't have an opinion on it. Be like, yo, what do you think of Good Gangstar? And then I it's out of my era. I didn't really know about anything about that. I think it was I forgot. It was one of the Chicago rappers, and they asked him about. Oh no, it was Rory, and they asked him about Outkast, and because they were talking about the Dre 3000 comparisons to him, and he was just like, yeah, I hear that a lot, but he's like, I don't think people realize that like the Outkast first album came out when I was born.
Yeah.
So he's like, I know Dre and Outkast later on because I started to listen to people exposed it to me, but like I didn't know who they were until like until the last year or year and a half. And so just to give you context of where I'm at, like I'm not I'm not that old. So it was good that he said that because he's like, yeah, I'm just now experiencing Outkast because I didn't know that back then. Like that's not the type of rap I was listening to. I was listening to different stuff, blah blah. So it's like that aspect of it. Like I thought that was a great way to like explain that. Where Lil Yachty went the exact opposite. Oh, I don't listen to that old shit. I just want to blah blah blah. I could say hot on a beat and then make it hot, and it's like because they're in rap for a different reason than those people were. Like they're in it for the entertainment value, the fame of it, the that aspect of having fun part. But then they're not necessarily like rap nerds about I was listening to Freestyle Fellowship in '92 and
that just dilutes.
But that's not an excuse because if you need a hip hop starter kid, then so be it. Because you gotta go back to where it originated. The bebop.
I mean, right now,
you don't have to. You know
why you have to, D? Because at one point nobody knew what hip hop was. It didn't get the respect. Like those people, y'all know already. It made the foundation. Like you have to know where it came from for music part. For when it comes to music, you gotta know.
True. I'm saying if you're a real musician, like I brought up the best rappers.
Yeah.
Today are people who listen to the old music, who talk about the old music.
Yes.
So
J Lock Souls, just the old. You just gotta go back.
The better current rappers are rappers that are students of the game.
Exactly.
The more flash in the pan, more the average. They're more like I like rapping because I did it at school and it was fun. I was looking for a beat that sounded like
they're gonna be out the game soon.
You know what I'm saying? So like I think that's the aspect too. There's a difference between a music nerd and then someone that just is in it for a small period of time. And so when you hear people like a Kendrick or a J. Cole or even Drake talk about rap, you could tell they listen, they pay attention, they study it. They have
some of the stuff they say. I'm just like, yo, how old are y'all, man?
Yeah, 100%. Like Drake was talking about Fonte before, and he was like, "Yo, Fonte is like one of my earlier influences when I rap." And if you listen to his earlier stuff, it makes sense because he does sound like a lot like the same cadence and all that kind of stuff. But again, is a 17-year-old going to talk about rap cadence and styling and like this type of stuff? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe he's not a fan of that. Maybe
I'll tell a 17-year-old Cam start off with the Nas, the Ice Cube. Like I'm not gonna have somebody see put on Kumo D. I'm not gonna tell them kid put on Kumo D right now. They're gonna be like, "Are you serious?" Like,
yeah.
Like I will put it. I'm not. I'll be realistic. I'll be like,
"Hey man, you ain't about to get me to say let's listen to UTFO." Good.
Yeah, but I'll start from at least 95, the Wu Chains, at least 96 and up, 95 and up. You gotta
93. Yeah.
Nah, 93, that might be too far because that might be too far back. 93?
Yeah, 93 is like is the greatest rap era of all time.
So 93.
That year, there's like 100 rap albums that came out that were like they're on the level of like great to classic, which is ridiculous.
So 93, I think that should be the hip hop starter kit. Like, you want to know the young
That's
generation.
Our golden era. That's our golden era.
Yeah.
Yo, we gotta wrap this
93.
up.
Yeah. All right. So let's get to final words, and I'm gonna let you have the. Let's go first. Final words.
I know we're talking about health and culture, so with music. So I just wanted to give a shout out to my man Tim Gray, because I kind of thought about him while we were talking about this. He implements hip hop and working out. You know, Tim Gray. You know, so shout out to him, man. Keep doing what you're doing, and maybe we need people, the little men, quote unquote, so to say, to bring out the forefront about health awareness when it comes to the hip hop culture. So that's all I gotta say about that. Shout out to Tim, man.
Duane, final words.
Final words. Oh yeah, I've been watching this show. It's the spinoff of Blackish, Grownish, and I don't know if you guys got to watch it, but it's, granted, none of us are college age, but I feel like it's a dope show for. First of all, it keeps me informed of what these kids are going through, and then the opposite is just like I feel like they touched on a lot of really dope topics. I feel like I'm giving them free promotion right now, but if you're looking for a new show just to like pass the time, I recommend Grownish. It touches on real topics that children, young adults are going through in a I want to say in a realistic way, and that's it. That's my final word.
Nice. My final word is I think people need to learn the subtle art of having a debate and disagreeing. Like, you can have a debate with somebody, agree with them, and not have to kill them or freaking destroy their whole social being. I think a lot of times, especially in the age of social media, it's really easy to get into that like shouting match and going back and forth and blah blah blah. And, like, one of the things that sucks for a lot of people that have type of following, like celebs and all that, they're literally judged by their last tweet. So on one tweet, it could be like, "Oh man, you're a champion for feminism," and then the next tweet is like, "Oh, you hate women," blah 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 blah. And so no one's allowed to have multiple opinions or evolving opinions. So you have to be really take one side and run with it, and it's very toxic and really bad for just in general. It's not good at all. And people always try to blame just the right side of things, you know, conservatives and all that for doing that. But us on the quote unquote liberal left, we do the exact same thing. Sometimes we get a little mightier than thou and a little bit too much on our high horse about certain things, where a lot of times we're just as bad. And so I just think people need to work on their debating skills and actually have more conversations in person and vocally, as opposed to just on the twit machine. But you know,
it's okay. It's okay to disagree, man.
Yeah, exactly. Cam, final words.
I got two. One is quick. My first final word is I still want DNA tests on Bobby Caldwell. Straight up. My second final word, in honor of Craig Mack, rest in power. I went on Twitter and said top 3 MCs with the great hand movements while rapping. My first initial response to that was I think I put Busta Rhymes, Craig Mack, and Das Effects. And my co-host Duane said ODB, and I had to go look. He's the biggest Wu-Tang fan that I am.
I was shocked, yo. I'm like, yo, Kung Fu ODB, man, you ain't pick him?
Yeah. I went back, looked at the fantasy the video, and then I looked back at the Shimmy Shimmy Ya, and I revised that list so fast. And it's kind of like a 1A, 1B. And
True.
To the people out there listening, when I mean hand movements, go look at these MCs and watch their hands. Like, their hand movements is crazy when they spit, especially Busta Rhymes and ODB. And I had it. This could be 1A, 1B, 1A, 1B, or however you want to switch it. But I put Busta Rhymes first, ODB second, and Craig Mack third. Because Craig Mack, no disrespect to these other rappers, but Craig Mack, he had long arms. And if you go watch all his videos, man, you swear he was painting a picture with his arm. And those are my top 3 MCs with the greatest hand movements while spitting. It's a hard thing to do. That's a talent. Go check it out. To the young people out there who've never seen peak Busta Rhymes and peak ODB and peak Craig Mack, check that skill. That's a talent, man. So those are my top 3 MCs with great hand-arm movement while spitting a verse.
Boom.
MC Hammer.
All right, and on that note,
MC Hammer used to wild out while he was rapping.
legs.
Lord, give me the strength. All right, everybody, this has been the Table of Truth.
Wait, what about Domino? No, I'm joking. Yo, we out.
What's the Domino movie?
Back.
I'm about to look up a Domino video on the low, yo.
Out.
We out.
You can listen and download to all of our episodes of The Table of Truth on iTunes. Just search The Table of Truth podcast.